Good evening, you lovely people. How is everybody? Hope everybody's well. Thank you for coming over and joining us for another Friday Night Live. Yeah, it's another week. Let's bring in the guys. I have the gentlemen Mark and Wayne joining me as always.
Good evening.
To bring in the entertainment, as we would say. Let's make it a fun one tonight, as always. Bring in some entertainment, and we'll see what happens. I'm going to be trying something that I see Mark do. When did you do these pastel colours, Mark? Middle of the year last year?
No, it's about November, I think.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, about November time. Mark did some nice bowls with some pastel colours, and I saw a picture he did after he'd sanded one back and sort of left the colour in the grain. So that's what I'm going to have a go at. I did have a trial a little while ago. I'm going to be using the red I got left over from painting these cupboard doors. So, and that is how it's come out. So if we can get the bottom of the bowl looking something like that, I'll be very pleased. So I have a piece of Sorbus White Beam. Never turned it before. Don't even know what it's going to be like. So we'll see what it's like. So better give you a size, because if not, someone will be asking.
You want to pop us in the background, Steve?
Yes, mate. You just don't want to be famous, do you?
No.
Wayne's already famous.
Yeah, Wayne's already famous. He don't need the fame. So it's 8 inches across by just over 2¼ inches thick. So what I'll do is I'll get this mounted up, and we'll get these guys to go through the chat and welcome everybody in. We are streaming across Facebook, but we'll see what happens on Facebook. If it don't go too good, we'll knock it on the head. But we'll see what happens. So if you guys would like to let me know who's in, please.
Yeah, fine. Do you want me to do it, Wayne, or do you want to do it?
No, you carry on.
Right, so we've got Andy H's for turning, Barry's Wood Creations, Barry's Woodturning, Brickhouse Craftworks, Chris Spinning Wood Dodger, Circular Wood by Keith, Clive Rogerson, Door 60, Doc Miller at Wood Spun Round, Douglas Mungham, Duncan the Demon Barber, Gary Letizia, Gerard the French Turner, Robert Hodgepodge Woodworks, Huey Lionsheart, Ian Leonard, Jennifer Stroughton from Jennifer's Craft and Creations, Joe Senior, Malcolm Douglas, Mike Hugh, Hobby Woodturner Ilminster, possibly the longest title in YouTube, Mole Valley Maker, Neil Gould, Neil M, Rex B, Richard Bunton, that's your dad, Robin Thorogood, Shop Dog Workshop, Steve Scott, TJ Turning, Valerie Henschel, Wood Wizardry by Colin, couple other, Mark's Craft Shed, John Scarborough. I think that's it from my list.
Seth's in.
Seth from Brickhouse Craftworks.
Well, good evening, everybody. Hope you are
Hello,
all...
greetings and salutations, one and all. If I did miss you out, do apologise. Blame YouTube.
He told me he was going to miss people out on purpose.
Yeah.
Joe Senior's in. Hi, Joe.
Hey, Joe.
Hi, Joe. So, just quickly before we start, Battle of the Makers is back next Friday. So, Mark, I hope you got your questions ready.
I better get them sorted. God.
I'm working. Yes, come round quick, innit? I can't. When I sat there the other night, I thought, do you know what? We've got a week, and we've done another Battle of the Makers. That just comes around so quick,
Doesn't it?
So, Yeah, we've got another battle of makers this time next week. So we'll see if the Wood Warriors can pull it back and make it 2-2. So,
JP's in.
hi JP. So we'll see how they can pull it back or not.
You're
Joe's seen it.
joking, man.
What?
It's Wayne's new catchphrase.
I was talking to JP there, sorry,
Oh,
Dave.
all right. So let's get this turned up. Let's get it rounded off.
Yeah,
We'll
there won't be any. There won't be any vodka at the next battle
Oh,
of the makers.
shame. Shame.
I didn't say there wouldn't be bourbon though.
Yes, Shug, you better get some alcohol.
It was a
Oh,
good
Joe's
week.
saying she can set the questions for you. That'd be
Oh,
nice.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
God, this chat's moving quick tonight.
Isn't it?
Oh, Mark's saying to JP that his cap turned up yesterday.
Nice.
Rex B, the wood is white beam.
Cornish
And it's a
made
wood.
in. Hi,
It's
Katie.
a wood. It's a wood I know nothing about. I've never turned it.
Nor have I. But it turns nice. Look at them babies. Look at them. Nice.
I hate to tell you this, Steve.
Go on then. Camera's
glitching.
glitching.
Yep.
James Crawford's in. Good evening, James. All the way from the kingdom.
Kingdom? Where's the kingdom? United Kingdom?
The kingdom of Fife.
Oh, I see.
Oh, Glenn's in. Evening, Glenn.
Hi, Glenn.
Hi, Glenn. Pardon me. Sorry. Windy pops. Terry's in.
King of the Grit. Evening, Terry. Hope you're well. Right. It's quite a pretty wood, that.
Yeah, it
So
does
it's
look
fine.
very nice.
So let's find a centre. Somewhere there.
You've got Di Prout and Chris Murray watching on Facebook.
Hi, Di. Hi, Chris. Hope you're both well. So, put a 3mm mortise in the bottom there.
Huey said, surely you mean Fiefdom, Wayne. Douglas has said, did someone mention Yorkshire Grit twice? No, we didn't tonight. He
Not
just
yet.
came in of his own accord.
Terry says, why is Wayne sounding so clear and concise with his audio? I thought it was a new earworm.
Cheers, Terry. It's because Wayne bought a new headset. Sorry, headphones.
Wayne's actually come into the 21st century.
He's joined the Japper crew.
Right.
Stuart Hayes is in.
Hi, Stuart. Got a bit there.
Brent Beecroft's
Brent.
in. Hi, Brent.
Evening. So, what shape of bowl should we go for? Should we just go for something traditional or should we go for something a bit more fancy?
Traditional.
Traditional.
Alex Lambie's come in.
Hi, Alex.
Paul
And
Smith's
Paul
in.
Smith.
Right. You do the next. You do the next one.
We're going to have to get this audio sorted so it syncs properly, Mark. Gerard has said to Glyn that he's nearly finished his first tub of grit.
Hi, Brian. Not sure if I mentioned to you earlier.
Man, this turns really nice.
Yeah, it looks it. Baz is in.
Hi, Baz.
Hi, Lewis. Hi, Baz.
Evening, Lewis.
Okay, Rex B's just put in. He's just looked up white beam timber, fine grained, hard and white. Traditional uses include wood turning, fine joinery, including chairs, beams, cogs, wheels, and wheels in machinery.
Oh, nice.
So he said it's fine grained, Steve.
Yeah.
So I'm not. If it is fine grained, I'm not very sure how the paint will take in the grain.
It don't look very fine, do it?
It doesn't to me, no.
It's quite.
But anyway,
We'll try it.
we'll see.
Nothing ventured.
Douglas has said, Steve, does this involve Bernie?
No, sorry.
IDR wood turnings in.
Hi, Ian.
Cornish, I think I just mentioned it. White beam.
Remember, folks, if you've got a question, if you could start your comment with a couple of question marks or the word question, just so we can spot it in the chat a bit quicker. Brian, you're deeply offended, are you? You'll get over it.
Poor Brian. Poor old boy. I thought he was going to get a little bit of sympathy there.
Have you really, buddy?
What from Mark?
Yeah, well, that is true. Yeah, that is true, Wayne. Yeah.
Right, Barry is asking, will this bowl involve air ventilation?
Well, hopefully not. No, hopefully not.
And Douglas has followed that with, is a funnel involved?
No, we're going to try and make 2021 funnel free.
Right, Mole Valley Maker said, yeah, the wood he's talking about here, it looks like it is essentially a member of the rosewood family, so it should be fine grained or tight grained.
Okay.
I don't think that's white beam then, because that ain't fine grained, is it?
No, definitely not. But that's what it's got written on it. That's what I bought it as.
It's not. It doesn't look as open as ash or oak, I've got to say.
No, it's not as open as oak. I mean ash. Oh well, we'll see what happens, won't we?
God, the Barry must love you, Steve. He's put 20 pence on. There's going to be a funnel.
Do you know? I just love the infuse. I just love the what's the word?
Confidence.
That's the word. Yeah.
Huey says, Steve, at least it wasn't him that asked those funnel questions.
Yeah. Yeah. Good boy, Huey. Tell you're not feeling well, can't we?
Brian has said sympathy is to be found anywhere but here.
Very true.
All right, I'm just going to try and do a bit of a share cut. on that.
Douglas is asking if you're using Joe Sonja's iridescent paints.
No, I won't go into. I was going to use some, just what is it? Johnson's.
Glyn has actually asked quite a good question here. Is it poplar? It looks like it to him. To tell you the truth, Glyn, it looks like it to me as well.
Yeah.
And it certainly cuts like it's poplar as well.
So what you're saying is I've been sold a Dudden again?
Well, no, because poplar's nice anyway.
Right. Let me get a bit closer picture so you guys can. Well, that ain't no good, that one, is it? Is that any better? What do you reckon?
Has it? I can't tell from the picture. Has it got the dark part? Is there any greeny tinge around there?
There, yeah, there's a little bit of green on that bit there.
Yeah, that would make me think it's poplar.
Yeah. Oh, apparently Terry said that further up in the chat, but we weren't listening.
All right, okay. Well, it's
So
Terry.
that's...
We'll never listen to
we never
Terry
listen to
anyway.
Terry. It's Welsh.
Poor old boy. If I ain't Brian, you having a go? That's Terry.
They take it well.
You got to, really? Right. So let's just clean up a little bit inside.
Right, Seth's just put in. He was so excited. His Hampshire Sheen microcrystalline wax arrived. The supplier pulled short and decided to substitute chestnut microcrystalline wax instead, and didn't let him know. Just left a note in the box. Oh, that was nice of him. Mind
Yeah.
you, I've got to say, chestnut microcrystalline wax is very good as well.
To be fair,
Yeah,
they're probably both made in the same factory.
Well, I don't think it is. Adrian Hobby Turner said tulip can be green as well. Yeah, I believe tulip. I may well be totally wrong here, but I'm sure I mentioned this on a live the other night. Tulip and poplar, I think, come from the same family.
Right. Whatever it is, it turns really well. Turns really nice. It's lovely and smooth. Off the tool.
Got 80 watching.
Ooh, really?
4 on Facebook.
So Terry's agreeing with me for a change. That poplar and tulip do come from the same family.
You sound surprised there, Mark. I mean, Wayne.
No, not really, not really. Unless you get tulip wood from South America. Tulip wood from South America is very distinctive because of its pink and white grain.
I have troubles here. DIY dog matters in the house.
Oh, no.
Man,
Stand by your beds.
Right,
Dog man,
man?
how are you doing?
All right, so 120, 240. And I will must say, I am loving my Simon Hope inertia sander.
Told you so.
Oh, got a flicker on the camera there, Steve.
Yeah. The overhead one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Brian's saying, I suppose I'd better give Steve a thumbs up. Not too sure about these two earworms today. Oh, right then, Brian.
So
we
it's
will.
like that. It's like that,
We
is it?
will.
Yeah.
Yeah, we will speak about that later on.
Mark Stroughton's in. Hi, Mark.
Hi, Mark.
He says, hi, everyone. And Doris.
And Doris.
Mark's probably just got up to get his breakfast before he goes to work.
So,
Hobby Turner's in.
hi, Adrian.
Yeah.
Please. All right, so final one, 400.
Mike Hughes asking, regarding the Hope sander, what's the best technique for the center of the piece, where the wood
What?
slows right down to almost zero?
Patience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Trial and error.
to tell you the truth, Mike, what you're basically doing right at the center of the piece is hand sanding.
Yeah.
I have found if you angle the head and try and get just about, sort of, if you imagine it as a clock face, imagine the head touching the center at about 2 o'clock, it does kind of spin a bit better.
Right. Glyn's answer to that one is turn the speed up.
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense, doesn't it? Right. So spray that.
I'll be able to do that soon. I've got a compressor coming.
Right, so I need a decent brush now to brush that on. Do 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 do. Not that drawer, this drawer. Right, there we go.
Bobby Turner's asking,
What are you
SK
putting
is-
on first, Steve?
Sorry?
What are you putting on first?
The colour.
Oh, are you not putting any sanding sealer on?
No, because I want it to soak into the grain, don't I?
All right, okay, yeah, right, I'm with you. Fine.
This is water-based. I did give it a bit of a mix. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully I want it to soak in, so when I sand it out, it just a bit like when you put the black intrinsic on.
Yeah. Now the two camera shots that you've got there.
Yep.
The overhead shot, that paint looks totally orange,
Yep.
and the tailstock shot, it looks red.
Okay. So let me see. Let me just get this on while that's dry, and I'll have a fiddle with the colours.
Oh yeah, it does.
This camera always looks a funny colour for some reason. Always.
And Dark is asking a question: do you think Wayne could be a sexy voice model? What, alongside a hand model, Dark?
You're joking, man.
You're joking, man. GP said, just like my jumper. Yeah, it's red when I wear it, but it comes out orange on camera.
Right, so let's just give it a quick blast over again.
Alex is asking you a question, Mark.
Yeah, I was just going to say, JP, can you answer that, please? Because I can't remember. It's the same one JP's got, which is the same one that Dale's got, which is the same one that Glyn's got.
Yeah, the same one that Glyn's got, so Glyn could answer it as well.
Glyn's with a T.
It's the silent compressor.
Glyn's with a T. Titan?
No, it's
Yeah.
not a Titan. No, is it the Titan? Is it?
I think it is. Hold on. Go on.
Right. So let's have a play with this while we're So the end camera looks all right. It's just the head camera.
Bambi.
Titan Precision 22 litre Pro.
Okay. Glyn's got the Bambi, which is, if not the same, very similar. Sorry, Steve, what were you saying there?
Is it the overhead camera that looks the wrong colour?
Yes, the overhead camera looks orange.
What's that look like?
That's looking better.
Yeah, that's better.
No,
Is that better?
Yeah, now it looks more pink than red, but it definitely looks better than the orange. That's it. You're getting there now.
Does that make that look a funny colour though?
No.
No. That's looking like the colour it's supposed to be. The grey colour.
Makes your arms look pink, but it gives us a laugh.
Yeah, got a rash. That'll do. That's near enough, isn't it? Right. So I'm just going to dry this off quickly with the air gun, I think. Shouldn't take too long. It's water-based, so.
I made a jig for doing that, Steve.
Yeah, I know you did. Trouble is, if I don't stand here and hold it, what else am I going to be doing? Could go and make a coffee, I suppose.
With your fancy coffee machine.
Oh, yes. I ain't got a cup, though. Yeah, dishwasher next, I think.
Right, I don't know if I understand this one. Adrian's just said he's just bought a visualizer to hopefully video some colouring videos. Can't video turning as it's too cold and my laptop is getting too old to go out to the garage and get dusty. Right, Douglas is asking if you've been under the sun lamp, Steve.
No. Trouble is, because I've enhanced that, my arms look like I've been in the sun now.
Yeah.
Lewis is saying that Carl Jacobson would be singing and juggling at this point. Just saying.
Believe me, Lewis, you don't want me singing. Right. So we'll sand that back now and see what happens. Let's go for an 80 grit to start with and see what happens.
I wouldn't go that low.
Wouldn't you?
Glenn has said
Oh.
to Terry that he's got 3 silent compressors. He's just trying to work out which one you meant, lol.
180 or 240.
Well, to tell you the truth, if Glenn has got 3 silent compressors, I know he uses one of them. The other 2 are probably still in boxes.
Joe's just said 3. Oops, busted.
He's got 2 spares just in case one go wrong.
JP said Carl would be doing whatever I told him to do. Carl is my plaything, lol.
Is that was that 80 grit?
No,
Okay.
that was 120.
Yeah.
So the Dark Man is asking a question of Mark. Is that the same colour orange as the paint on Mark's dancing pole?
No, because if I did have a dancing pole, it would be chrome.
Right, James Crawford is asking me a question. Would you have turned that walnut bowl you turned today as thin if it was dry? No, I wouldn't have done, James.
That must be a fairly tight knit grain because how that's sitting like that. Hasn't really soaked in, has it?
No, the grain doesn't look very pronounced at all, to tell you the truth, Steve.
No. I'm going to turn that back, I think. Take that back to natural.
Yeah, sounds
Ooh,
like
natural.
a plan.
Ooh, natural. And we'll find something else.
Hodgepodge is in the house.
Hi, Robert. How you doing, sir?
Evening, Robert.
Danny
So-
Boy's in the house too. Sorry, I did see you pop up earlier, Danny. I didn't call your name out.
Hi, Daniel. Hope you're well. Oops.
So Brent is asking Robert if Swedish bit showed up.
Harry's got a Swedish mail order beaver bride
Beaver.
called
Dear, dear,
Svetty.
dear, dear, dear.
Called
Well,
Svetty.
Harry is a beaver after all.
Hmm.
And Sveti is still in transit, by all accounts.
Daniel DeBar's in. Hi, Tonash.
Hi, Daniel.
Brian's put in, tea and digestives. To dunk or not to dunk? That is the question.
Dunk.
Not with digestives, no.
Oh, man, yeah.
You need hobnobs. The only decent Dunkin' biscuit is a hobnob.
No, you got to dunk because then it's dunking roulette. You have to see how long you can dunk it before it disintegrates.
All right, let's take this off of here. Trying to get away with that? It's not very deep. We'll try it. Right, so let's sand it back in. Start at 120.
Mole Valley Maker has said ginger biscuits for maximum dunkage. No, hobnobs.
I must admit, I'm quite prone to malted milk.
That's Jane's favourite biscuit. That is malted
I
milk.
love malted milk biscuits. Not the
I'm-
chocolate ones. They do one where you put with chocolate on. They ain't right. They ain't right.
Right. Adrian asking, could you do a cosmic cloud on the outside of the bowl? Yes, you could, Adrian.
See, Andy H is saying ginger nuts every time. I could get behind that. Used to love ginger nuts. 92 watching.
Really. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming over and joining us.
And you've been going just on half an hour, Steve.
Oh, really? Is that all? Thank you.
Yeah.
So 240. So what are we right? So I've never done the Joe Sonja cosmic cloud thing that you do, Wayne.
Yeah.
So do you think we should have a bash of that on the edge of this?
Well, you could do. You're going to have to spray it black first.
Yeah, that's not a problem.
Can you turn your compressor down? Or have you got an airbrush compressor?
I've got a main compressor, but the airbrush is plumbed off of that at 20 psi.
Yeah, that'll be fine. 20 psi will be fine.
So stand up the 400.
Yeah, sand to 400. Right, JP has just said, ooh, I'm imagining Mark with a mouthful of ginger nuts now. I'm blind. I'm blind.
Trust JP.
You're wrong in the head, Paige.
Right, so that's 400. God, that's lovely and smooth. Lovely and smooth.
Oh, Lionel's in. Evening, Lionel.
Hi, Lionel. How are you? Hope you're well. Ebenezer lacquer.
Ebenezer and sand and sealer first.
Right, okay. We'll see this pop now. Put sand and sealer on there. It's quite a pretty bit of wood, actually.
Yes, hodgepodge, but thicker. I always worry when Doc puts questions in.
Why?
That's for you, Wayne.
In answer to your question, Dark, yes, I would accept the sponsorship from Captain Morgan if you're talking about the rum. Definitely.
But it's got to be 2 crates a month.
Yeah.
No less.
What, only 2?
Only 2. You can see that green coming through there now, Wayne. Can you see? I don't know if you can see
Yeah,
that. Can you?
yeah, we can just see that.
Right, so let's denib this.
It actually looks like you've still got the pith run through that as well, Steve.
Yeah, I think there is, to be honest.
I wouldn't worry too much about it. It's only a demo piece.
There. Thanks, mate. I love the confidence boost there. Nothing worse than, there's nothing better than somebody in the background giving you all the confidence you ever need.
IDR Woodturning's asking, what paint can you put in an airbrush?
You can put any paint in an airbrush, IDR. The thing is that you do get some acrylic paints that are already thinned down to go straight into the airbrush, or you can buy the ordinary acrylic paints and actually thin them down yourself to go into an airbrush.
He's going to ask you what to thin them down with.
You can thin them down. Since how it's acrylic paints, they are water based. You can just thin them down with water, or you can thin them down with flow medium.
cut that bit on nice.
Now, if you're going to dry that with an air gun, Steve,
Yeah.
don't get too close and don't go too long. Otherwise, you'll just bubble up the lacquer.
Okay. I'm about 2 foot away from it.
What speed you run at?
About around about 450.
Okay, I would turn that down to around about 150.
I can't. If I do that, I've got to change belts.
All right, okay. No problem.
I'm quite away from it. As you can see, I'm quite away from it.
Yeah. A lot of the time, if you are drying stuff like this, this is for general information. Sometimes you don't actually need the air gun to do this. The actual spinning of the wood will dry out the ebonizing lacquer. The analogy that I use along with, oh God, I'm forgetting his name now. Anyway, not important. When you hang your washing out to dry outside, it's the wind that actually dries it, not necessarily the sun.
Paul Kavanagh's in this evening
Hi,
from
Paul.
the shed, folks.
Hi, Paul.
Hi, Paul.
Evening, Paul.
Still tacky. Mm-hmm.
Adam Parkinson's in. Hi, Adam.
Hi, Adam.
JP has said, don't try drying Danish oil by spinning the lathe, at least not fast anyway. Yeah, because it tended, I think Mark and I were both in a chat with Jamie when he was doing this. It was up the walls, it was over the ceiling, it was on the floor.
Not
It
that
was
nice
amazing.
new, not that nice clean new workshop.
Oh,
Surely not.
yes, it was everywhere. It was everywhere.
Jamie was wearing it. Got it in his beard.
Oh, at least it makes none of the jam didn't stick to it this morning.
Yeah, it made his beard nice and fluffy.
Then. Right, let's try that. That's better.
That's better.
Right, put the lid back on this. Right then. So, do I thin these down a little bit? Do I put them on as they are?
I would thin them down a little bit, Steve.
So, what colours are we going to go?
Colin's asking, to get a really glossy shine, can you use a Yorkshire Grit microfine? Yes, you can, but the thing is with what Steve's doing now, the ebonizing lacquer is glossy anyway. If you wanted, for his finished piece, what he can do is build up layers and layers and layers of lacquer, and then on the final one, you hit it with the Yorkshire Grit microfine.
Right, so I reckon gold. Oh, it's not even been opened yet. My God, what's going on, Stephen?
Die's back. Hi, Die.
Hi, Die.
PC's now mirrored in the loft space with a desk chair and optional beanbag. Winner.
Optional beanbag. I like that. Don't need a lot, do we? So, I quite like the the red. What are you laughing at?
Just
Dark.
what Dark's written.
Yeah.
The Dark Man has asked me a question. When grooming your beard, do you prefer lemon oil or a nice canuba wax?
Canuba wax.
Cornish maid saying,
Ordinary
Sorry.
shampoo, that's what I use, Dark. Sorry, Mark.
Cornish maid saying black and gold. Yes. Cornish colours.
Yeah. No, I'm using the Joe Sonja. Now let me get this right. Iridescent colours.
Yes.
Right, so I've got 3 colours. I've got gold, red, and green. Is that enough?
Gold.
3 colours?
Yeah. Oh, three's a perfect amount.
Right, so a little bit of flow medium. Just a little splash.
Brian at Hardwood Turning says, got permission to buy a new tool today. Well, at least that's what I think she said when I ordered the new rugs for the hall. Sounds right to me. Can you order those new rugs for the hall? Certainly I'll buy that new spindle couch.
Right, so let's get this overhead back on. Right, so I've mixed this a little bit of flow medium in there. Wayne, is that
Yep.
still too thick or?
No, that looks fine. Just stick a drop on the top of the
Board?
on the top of the bowl, and then get. Have you got your air gun set up? Your airbrush set up?
I can. I'll just plug it in now.
Michael McEwen's in. Hey, Michael.
Hi, Michael. Right, so airbrush setup. So a dollop on the top of the bowl.
Yeah, dollop on the top of the bowl.
There, on the edge of the.
Yeah, just there. Right, that's enough. That's enough. Right, get the airbrush and start blowing that about. That's what you're wanting. Try to get some stringy bits as well if you can.
I don't know if this pressure's enough, to be honest. Let me just open the pressure a little bit. Perhaps it's
There
not
you
quite.
go. No, that's fine, Steve. That's fine. That's absolutely fine.
Huey says, no, not there.
So do I do all the one color?
Now,
Do I do all one color at a time, or do I?
you can actually mix up. It doesn't really, and it doesn't matter if the colours mix together either. It really doesn't matter.
Okay, let me just put a little bit of that in there.
Colin's asking, can you do string pull technique on a bowl rather than a platter?
Yes, you can, Colin. If you go back in some of my other videos, you actually see me doing a string pull effect on a vase. I've done a couple of few of them.
Oh, that's pretty. A little bit more flow medium in that one because there's a bit more in there.
So Mike Hugh has said to me that he used the bubble wrap technique you talked about earlier in the week. Great result, and Joe Sonja's want to tag the photo. Excellent, brilliant, well done.
Very.
Nice.
The reason I said to Steve about doing one spot and then spreading it about on the bowl is obviously because the bowl's curved, and if he has got the paint thinned down, it will start to run before he starts to blow it about. That was the only reason I was saying to put one spot at a time. You can put multiple spots on and sort of blow them all together, and it actually looks, Steve, it actually looks quite good when the colours start mixing.
Yeah, I was gonna. Yeah. Yeah, I was going to go round alternating at the start with, and I was going to go in and fill the gaps.
Yep, sounds grand.
Your dad's saying it's beginning to look like a spotted cow.
Yeah,
A cow.
Yeah.
Cheers, Dad.
Yes, and the particular cow he is probably talking about is a belted Galloway.
Do they have Joe Sonja paint on them? Do they?
If you actually go after you finish, Steve, if you go and have a look, see if you can find some photos of a belted Galloway, you'll see what I'm talking about.
Right. Okay.
Colin said this is about Joe Sonja's. He was surprised with when his order arrived. Lynn had put in some sponge brushes and some mixing pots as well. Lynn is an absolutely brilliant person to work with. That's Joe Sonja's UK. Brilliant person to work with. Gerard is asking, would it be easier if the ball was on the board instead of the chuck? It might well be, but it doesn't really matter with what Steve's doing tonight.
Like Wayne says, only a demo piece.
He's not going to sell this. I mean, who'd want to buy it? I mean, really.
Wayne, we've talked about this before. Inside voice, outside voice. Inside voice, outside voice.
Steve knows I'm joking.
Thanks, mate.
You wanted a link for Joe Sonja's?
Yeah, put it in. Let's see if we can push him.
Oh, yeah. And can I ask, if you are in the UK and you're going to Joe Sonja's UK to buy the paints, somewhere in there within your order, I can't remember if they got a comments or if you can email them, but if you could just leave something in there to say that you got the idea from me, if you wouldn't mind. I'm supported by Joe Sonja's, and it would be a huge help. I'm sorry to do that in your life, Steve.
No, not at all, mate. If it helps you, you're helping me. So,
can I, if you don't mind, Steve, can I also say at the moment I'm on nearly 3,400 subs. Once I get to 3,500 subs, I will be doing a giveaway.
so I want a bit green in there. Use more than I thought. Actually, didn't think I'd use as much as that. But...
Can I just say, I'm only 5 away from 700. Just say.
Oh yeah. Go across the mark and get sub to Mark as well. In fact, get sub to Steve as well.
Yeah, just come over and watch. If you're not subbed.
I can see me getting invited back. Not.
Mate, you know me better than that.
Steve Jobbins is in. Hi, Steve.
Hi, Steve.
So the Dark Man is asking, Wayne, will it be nipple rings? Asking for a friend. Oh, Doc, you keep on doing it, Sunshine.
I had to approve that comment. I did think about it for a second or two. But what the hell? It's Friday night.
The Dark Man and I have known each other for quite a while now. He puts comments in, I just laugh at them.
Yeah.
So that's green.
It's quite funny, Wayne. He's much more reserved when he's an earworm,
Oh yes, I know. I mean, I've been on in a couple of Dark's lives And he can be. Yeah, other times he can't.
Yeah. Gerard's asking, who's Welsh in this chat? Terry is from TJ Turning.
Don't hold it against him.
Colin is as well.
Right, Adrian's got a couple of comments on here. All right, well, the extras that he had in the order, Lynn had said it was a Saturday discount, a one-off for cheering her up. The other weekend, one Saturday evening, I was emailing her and her other half was watching the TV. And we had quite a conversation regarding the paints and what turners use them for. Oh, nice one, Adrian, nice one.
I'm going to just see if I can know what that colour, because that camera don't do that no justice at all. Let's have a look here.
Dark saying he tries to be hard, but it's really, really hard. Yeah, I know, Dark, I know.
Them colours look better on there.
Can you do it? Can you do the tail stop camera? See how that looks?
Mark Stroughton's asking.
That's looking a lot better, Steve.
Mark Stroughton's asking, if you was to add more flow medium, would the paint move further around the bowl, especially if the lathe was running?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. With this type, with the way that Steve's put the paint on, seeing as how it's on the bottom of the bowl, you won't get a very good effect with the lathe running. If the paints had been thinned down a bit further, yes, they would move about more with the airbrush. But to tell you the truth, the effect that Steve's got there, I think is looking pretty good anyway.
Ruby Claire's in. Hi, Ruby.
Hi, Ruby.
Hey, Ruby.
She's finally got dug out, apparently.
Oh, good. I must have taken a bloody all day, that.
Right, so just gently dry this off, and we'll see the colours come through then.
Yeah, just anybody who does start using the Joe Sonja iridescents, they are very, very thick and creamy. And the other thing you want to remember is when you actually squeeze them out of the bottle, they all come out the same colour. They come out a cream colour. It's not until they hit a dark background that the colour starts coming out. And the other thing is when you're putting them on, if you've got it on too thick, it'll stay that cream colour. You've got to get it thinned down enough on the piece so that the colour actually comes through. I think Adrian got a discount from Joe Sonja's because he mentioned the paints at his club. Nice one.
Hodgepodge is asking, would you now be willing to buy it, Wayne?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Obviously, when I made that comment, I was extracting the urine. Yes, Dark, they are non-toxic. It's acrylic paint. It's a water-based paint. And I'm sure Harry would be fine-tuning into them.
That's harsh.
Daniel, that was a bit harsh.
£2 at least.
I think Douglas must be talking about snow here. Possibility of 20 centimetres in his area. I heard on the news today, further up north towards Inverness, Aberdeen, certainly up in the hills, they were looking at nearly half a metre of snow being fallen tonight.
Cornish Maid's having to pop off. See you later, Katie.
See you later, Katie.
Night night.
It's a bit thick in places. It's taking a bit of time to dry.
Oh, Valley Maker's saying, hold on with the bids, people. Steve hasn't hollowed it out yet. Good shout, actually. I mean, you should have more. You should have more confidence in him.
Do you know what? I'll bring you two on because you're supposed to be so-called friends.
You said you wanted to laugh.
Well, you got that right. Then we are so-called friends.
I can't wait for the day when I finally go through the bottom of a bowl with Steve as an earworm.
Well, like Keith did.
Yeah.
Right, you've got a super chat from Glenn for
Oh, thank you.
£1.99. He says it's really good, but he's skint. That's why he hasn't given it you.
Bless him.
So Daniel has said, this is a reply to Mole Valley. He figured the £1 portion would fill funnel, and then 50 pence for the purchase.
I'm just going to dab some of this off of here because that's a bit thick in places. Maybe not.
No, try, Steve. Try blowing it again. There you go. Oh, Douglas has said that the weather people have put an amber warning for the Essex coast. Yeah, there's the east side of the country is, I think, going to get hit especially hard overnight and tomorrow.
Yeah, we got an amber warning around here for snow and ice.
The beast from the east.
Another
has
one.
returned. He's come back.
I don't mind.
He liked it last time.
It's good fun.
Mole Valley said that he's noticed on the few bits that he's done with the Joe Sonjas, the thinner the better for the full effect. Yeah, what you've got to do is have a play about with how much flow medium you put in, to get the best effect.
I think they was a little bit thick in places, but
yeah, I mean, what I usually start off with when I'm thinning it down. I start off 80% paint, 20% flow medium. Have a bit play with that, see how it works, and then if I need to go thinner, I'll go thinner.
yeah.
It's looking really cool though, Steve.
Yeah, it is.
Got some nice patterns there. Just unusual, isn't it? It's just nothing's uniformed.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, hopefully.
Paul Smith is, I think he's asking you, whereabouts are you based, Steve?
Kings Lynn, Norfolk. We're about 10 miles from the Cambridgeshire border. Right, so is that going to be dry enough to turn? I think so. That'll be alright, as long as I'm gentle with it, won't it? So obviously I'd lacquer that, but I want to get the inside turned out. Oops.
That'll all dry off while you're turning the inside, Steve.
That'll dry when I go through the middle, that'll be sure. Right, so let's get our height right. About there somewhere. Just have a quick swig from a drink. So let's get this baby popped out. Glasses.
94 in.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Oh, nice one, Steve.
Thank you, everybody. Be nice if we can get that many in next week for the Battle of the Makers, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
That would be cool. Just in case everybody doesn't know, once a month, Steve puts on a quiz night on a Friday. So rather than his turn and night, he puts on a quiz night. Steve does the questions. Mark is the adjudicator. Me and Huey Lionheart are one team, and Lewis, Klondike Craftsman, and Joe Senior are the other team. And we have a good laugh. Having just something different for a Friday night.
There's the link for next week's edition. It's worth a watch, if nothing else, just to see if my head explodes or not.
Yeah, I've got to say it's worth a better watch if Mark's on the vodka. Definitely. I mean, I'm usually drunk anyway, but that's my usual.
Especially after the last one when Mark was absolutely gone. He was gone.
I was only half gone.
Well, I think some of the chat might disagree with you there, Mark. But it's a laugh. That's all that matters. It's a bit of fun.
So Gerard is saying here in Ireland, they have the warning for Wednesday next week. This is for weather. Time to get the wood for the fire in, bath filled with water. The last time the pipe froze under the ground, fridge full, and plenty of booze. Yeah, you got the last one right anyway.
Wayne Bigfoot's in. Hi, Wayne,
Wayne
and
and
Valerie.
Valerie.
Hi, Wayne, Valerie. Douglas managed to turn his piece of right. Douglas had a piece of burr elm, 8" by 2", and he was very worried about turning it because he didn't want to cock it up. But he's managed to finish it with an undercut rim as well. Yep, Shug said we have a good laugh and sometimes copious amounts of alcohol. What do you mean sometimes? Yeah, Glyn said, Mark, you were absolutely spanned. Yes, he was definitely spanned. You should have seen him in the hangout afterwards. Dear me.
That's when he made his promises.
If I don't remember them, they don't count.
Oh. I'm going to turn that so I can get to it a bit easier.
Question there for you, Wayne, from Doc. It's actually a serious question.
Yes, I have, Doc. I've often thought about doing something like that. So it looks like a closed bowl with the rim painted, or even a hollow form with the rim painted.
Adam's asking what size gouge you're using, please, Steve.
1/2 inch.
A 1/2 inch, double-ended, Simon Hope, ground cryo, bowl gouge.
Right, Gerard is asking now. The way you've written that, Gerard, it sounds like a very strange question. What kind of wood is Mopani? Mopani is Mopani.
It's a wood.
If you want to have a look at the characteristics of the wood, and see sort of where it's from, what it's like, and everything like this, go on the internet, go onto the wood database, and that gives loads and loads of answers for all different types of woods. Robert has said after the next Battle of the Makers, you guys need to convince Mark to go ahead and buy a new lathe. Yes, we definitely do. One of these fine days, I'm sure Mark will go ahead and buy a new lathe. One of these fine days.
If he keeps off the alcohol.
Yeah, if he keeps off the vodka and saves up his money, he might be able to get a new lathe.
The worrying thing was the next day looking at my search history and realising that I'd been very close to actually buying a pole dancing pole.
Now that would have been funny.
Went into a hangout on the Saturday and JP said, "Have you looked at your search history on eBay yet?" I went, "No." He said, "Go and have a look." So I did, and there it was, a £200 chrome adjustable pole dancing pole. I was just like,
right. Adam Parkinson is asking, what's your thoughts on cryo gouges? The brilliant. It's the same one that Steve has got, that Steve is using at the moment. Mark uses the same one as well. They're absolutely brilliant.
Yep. Hold their edge. Lovely weight. Give a brilliant cut.
Well worth the money.
Right, Brian's just put in there. Now we should have the Jaws music on as we get closer to the bottom. As the head pops up out of the funnel.
Dum 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 dum.
Dun. One more pass.
No, Terry. No, I don't think you should all club together and buy me a pole.
I thought he was talking about the lathe.
You do that if you like. There will be no pole dancing. Well, there might. If I get to 1,000 subs, I might consider it.
What, pole dancing?
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. Now,
I said
on.
Might. I said might.
You heard that here first.
I said might.
Right, Douglas Munn has asked, how are the cryos formed? The cryos are formed, I believe, by actually freezing the steel to such a temperature that all the molecules of the steel start lining up in the same direction, which means that the edge actually stays harder for longer.
It's a cryo alignment system.
That'll do me, Johnny. That'll do, donkey. That'll do. And they're always cold to the touch as well. That's how you know a true cryo.
Right, hang on. Dark's asking me a question again. You've been turned for a long time. What lathe was your favourite one and why? Right, I've got two favourite lathes, and they are the ones that I use at the moment, Dark. The Axminster 406, which I've had for quite a few years now, and also the VB36, which is the one that I turn all my big work on. Why? The Axminster is very versatile. It's got a 2 horsepower motor, which is a good, powerful motor. You can slide the headstock along the lathe bed and everything like this. The VB36, because it's a beast.
With a capital B.
Capital B.
When we all grow up, we want to have VB36s.
Yeah, Glyn has said it's quenched, then supercooled in liquid nitrogen. That's going back to the cryo question. And when that happens, like I said, all of the molecules in this of the steel actually start lining up, which gives it a harder edge.
Ben's saying the cryos also have an anti-funnel technology, but it doesn't work properly in Norfolk, unfortunately. To be fair to Steve, he hasn't funneled with one of these new Simon Hopes yet. He funneled with his old ones.
But there is time.
Yeah, give it time.
I hate to disappoint people.
And for those of you watching in America, you might think that Steve said that was a 1/2 inch ball gouge, and you might think that looks pretty big for a 1/2 inch ball gouge. We measure things differently over here. Our 1/2 inch ball gouges are measured across the flute, not
Ouch.
across the bar. So a 1/2 inch ball gouge in the UK is a 5/8 ball gouge in the States.
Good question from Douglas there. Are cryos better than the titanium coated?
Say they're about the same.
Tonage says, Wayne, we all use man inches, not real inches.
Yeah, right.
We measure it properly and everybody else doesn't. That's the easiest way to say it. Because the flute is the cutting part, isn't it? That's your
Yes.
cutting wood.
Yeah, do that ball sharp.
25.4.
Adrian said, Tonnage, what's an inch? I work in millimeters, centimeters, meters, etc. Well, to tell you the truth, Adrian, I'm in the UK and I still work in inches. Steve, what was the price on that 1/2 inch ball gouge?
I think the gouge is
54.
about. Why is Nick asking? Is she?
No, it's Douglas. Douglas Mung's.
I think the gouge itself is about 65 quid, and then you have to buy the handle, don't you?
Yeah.
2 seconds.
Douglas,
I think-
Mark's just looking up the price for you.
I think it works out about the same, roughly the same sort of price as what a Robert Sorby titanium one is, to be honest.
Yeah. Colin's asking.
£62.50.
Right, Colin's asking, will the cryo sharpen okay on a pink grinding wheel? Yes, they will, Colin. No problem.
But then you buy your handle, obviously, depending on what length of handle you want. Depending on how much you pay for that.
Hey up, Adrian, there's no need for that, sunshine.
That's what he said.
Adrian's calling me old.
A bit personal, isn't
Yeah, it doesn't matter that I am.
it? Right, so sand and seal this. Then we get the old Yorkie grit out on it.
Yeah, Ruby's saying that you get the same differences for artist paint brushes between American brushes and European brushes.
You was going to say, Mark?
The handles are 58.
What, for a long handle?
For a long handle with 3 different size collets.
Yeah.
Right, Barry's Wood Creations is leaving. Good night,
See you
Barry.
later. See you later, Barry.
Thanks for coming in. Dark is asking me. I've got the Robert Sorby sharpening system. Have I tried the Trizac sanding belts yet? No, I haven't. I tend to stick to the ceramic ones, Dark. A lot of the I believe anyway, a lot of the Trizac ones tend to be quite fine, and they're used more for knife sharpening.
I use them for doing my work flat chisels.
Yeah, and flat chisels.
Gerard's asking, Wayne, to go back to the Mapani, is it easy or hard to turn? Guy's bringing him some next month. Asked if he wanted some. It's kiln dried.
Right, the last time I turned my pani must have been about 20 odd years ago. As far as I remember, if it is kiln dried, it's probably going to be quite dusty.
Brian, I
Brian's
believe they
asking,
do, yeah.
yes, they will fit in the Sorby handles. Yes. Joe, I'm sorry, I'm not going to sing. And Steve at the moment's using Yorkshire Grit. I'm sorry, I'm not going to sing the song.
There you go. That's what you're getting from me.
Mole Valley saying he's got the roughest Trizac, and that's about 600 grit.
Yeah.
To me, that is far too fine a grit for turning gouges, because you still, as far as I'm concerned, this is personal point of view, you still need to have a bit of a burr on the edge of the chisel or the gouge when you're turning.
Yeah.
All my gouges, I use the ceramic belts, and all my gouges are sharpened at 120.
I think if you use that sort of fine grit, they blunt so quick.
Yeah, that's it. It puts a really. Now the thing is, and Jeff Hornung did a very good thing on sharpening. 3 or 4 months ago, I think it was. And the way that he explained it was that if you use a 60 grit to sharpen a gouge, it'll be sharp. It'll not be very fine, but it'll be sharp. Whereas if you use a 400, 600 grit, it'll still be sharp, but it'll be very fine. What you've got to try and do is get the medium, if you like. So you'll get something that's sharp, which will actually hold an edge for quite a long time. If you do something really fine, 600 grit, you'll have a really sharp edge on there, but it'll lose it quite quickly.
Yeah.
Wooddude's in. Hi, Stephen.
Hi,
Good
Steve.
evening.
I do find with my work chisels, because I do them up to 2,400 grit, if I'm doing really hard wood like oak or something, after 4 or 5 doors, they've really lost their edge.
Mole Valley said, I think Ed Oliver says the same as I did, which is nice to know.
So I get this sanded up nice. There we go. So that's sanded up to around about 1,000.
Oh, that looks nice.
I think I'll just give it a bit of a microcrystalline wax, I think. Just a little bit.
So Douglas is asking, how much steel is taken off using sanding rather than a grinding wheel? Right, the whole thing about using the, I use the Sorby Pro Edge. There are other sanding systems out there, obviously. But the whole thing about using the Sorby Pro Edge is that you get a consistency. You get a consistency of grind. Now, I in my life today, I resharpened one of my gouges. In fact, I think I resharpened 2 of my gouges actually on the live, and it was just one pass from side to side to resharpen, and it takes next to nothing off.
I would say it wouldn't take no more off than what grinding would do, to be honest.
It probably takes a hell of a lot less, to tell you the truth, Steve. Ben saying, don't they say that the old carbon steel tools this is not carbides he's talking about, it's carbon steel, can actually give a better finish due to being able to sharpen them finer. They just don't keep the edge. Yes, you can sometimes get a better edge, but it doesn't stay there very long.
Yeah, you just end up sharpening more often.
Yeah. When I started turning, it was all carbon steel when I started turning.
Oh, that's a pretty bit of wood.
It is.
We don't know what it is, but it's pretty. I'm going to stop telling people what I've bought because it's never right.
It's a bit of wood.
It's a bit of wood. It's a bit of tree wood. Right, let's bring on a camera there we can see. That one will do. So what we've got here, we've got loads of chat up. Let's get rid of that. So there we go. I'm not going to touch it too much because I don't think it's quite dry yet, but my first ever, what do you call it? Cosmic cloud bowl.
Yeah, don't call it that when you put the photographs up.
No.
Gary Lowe has tended, since how he was the first one to do this type of thing, he's tended to coin that title.
Does he? Does he get stroppy? Does he?
No, not necessarily. But what I would say is give him a mention.
Yeah.
When you put, sort of inspired by Gary Lowe, because realistically, that's where the whole idea of this came from.
I like it. It's a few little bits I'm not happy with, like where it's a little bit too. I don't know if you can see where it's a little bit too thick there.
Yeah, wee bit creamy. Yeah. That can happen though, Steve.
It's very pretty.
Same there. But where the colours are coming out now, you can see the colours starting to come out on it now, where it's dried. But nice, I like it. Thank you very much, Wayne, for your assistance.
No problem, anytime.
Let's bring you guys back for a minute or two. Put your clothes back on, Mark. Get off your pole.
He laugh.
Ah, dear.
Oh look, I've got stuff all over my cupboard now. Look. Oh, no, anyway, thank you very much. So, thank you to Wayne for helping me with the first. Let's say Joe Sonja. What should we call it? Joe Sonja. I don't know really. What would you call it? An attempt.
Iridescent clouds.
That's the one. Iridescent clouds. Thank you, Mark. So, as you can see, the colours really do shine really nice, iridescent colours. And Joe Sonja, I mean, this is only 3 of the colours. We used, what did we use? We used
Golden green.
That's it, red, gold, and green. So the other colours you have are turquoise, which is quite a nice colour, blue, and what's the other one?
Violet.
That's it, violet, yeah. So
Ruby's just put in that decorative artists were using that technique in the early 80s. It's like a lot of these techniques that woodturners are starting to use, especially me. The techniques that I'm using go way back. I mean, the water droplet bowl that I do quite a lot of, that goes back to the 60s and 70s. With people doing motorbike petrol tanks and things.
What, the flame effects and all that sort of thing you're on about?
Yeah, all of the flame effects, everything like this. It's all been done before. There's nothing new.
No. The trouble is people just add little bits to it, don't they, and take bits away from it. But no, it's just nice to try something different. I think next time, like you said, I think I might make them a little bit thinner. So I believe someone said in the chat about they'd spread a little bit better.
They do spread better, and the colours do tend to stand out a bit more when you do put them on a bit thinner. But hey,
yeah,
it's looking really cool anyway.
Douglas Mangum says, Steve, you've got to pay Wayne a bottle now.
I can't afford what he drinks. He drinks a supplement quick.
Yeah. I drink really expensive stuff from Tesco's, from the bottom shelf.
Oh man! So, you put the link in for Battle Makers, did you, Mark, earlier?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So, like we said earlier, is it the third or the fourth one? That's the third one or fourth one? Fourth one.
It's the fourth one because it's 2-1
Fourth one.
to them. It's
That's it,
2-1
yeah.
to
So,
them up to now.
so the fourth battle of the makers. At the moment, the Gold Warriors, which is Lewis Golden and Joe Senior, are 1 point, only 1 point ahead. And to be honest, Joe did wipe the floor with him last time. She was pretty quick on the old quick fire questions. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens.
I'm going to have a word with Glenn, I think, and see how drunk he can get her before the quiz starts.
Do you think that'll help
questions?
you? Harder questions.
Yeah. Andy's saying, Wayne, I'll let you a new headset. Cheers, Andy. Thank you. Yeah.
You are much clearer, Wayne. Much clearer.
Yep.
That's good to know.
So anyway, this time next week, Battle of the Makers. Well, 7:45 next week, Battle of the Makers. The link is out there, so put it on a reminder. Hopefully, we get you crowd back in, and we actually try and, well, those who haven't been over to the Battle of the Makers before, we actually try and encourage you guys to take part, even though some of you might cheat. But
Just a bit.
we'll try and stop that. So yeah, be good. So come over and check us out for next week's Battle of the Makers. There'll be myself, Mark, Wayne, Huey Lionheart, Joe Senior, and Lewis from Quandite Craftsman. So come over and join us for a filled night of, well, if it was like last time, my sides hurt after last time. It was just horrendous. It was hilarious. It was just so funny.
I apologise.
Yeah. And can I just ask that the other team don't keep on asking for the question to be asked twice, so you can get a longer time to answer it. Not that I'm bitter and twisted or anything.
And we also don't want no Hertz rental vans.
Hertz van rental.
Okay, no Hertz van rental at all. If Hertz van rental comes into it, he can bugger off back to Holland.
So anyway, guys, come over and join us next week. Ed Oliver's on tomorrow, I believe.
10 o'clock tomorrow morning.
So Ed Oliver's on. Then who else is on tomorrow, Mark? Do you know?
Hodgepodge says he might be doing a live tomorrow because Rob CP isn't. And then you've got usual suspects in the evening.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Nick will be on in the evening. I think that's about it for tomorrow.
Yeah. I don't know if Emma is doing, was she? I don't think Emma is.
No, because she did a demo last night for
Chestnut.
Yeah. Yeah. So then Sunday I'll be me and my lovely wife Nick for Sunday lunchtime. I'm turning the wand. Never turned a wand before, so yeah. Piff paff puff, as they say. So yeah, come over and join myself and my lovely wife. 1 o'clock Sunday. The link will be going up tomorrow for that. Well, the link's up now, but I'll promote that tomorrow. And then Sunday evening. Well, I should imagine, is Hodgepodge doing a live Sunday? I would imagine so.
Apparently Emma is on tomorrow night.
Oh right. So
Sunday evening I've got a premiere at 8:30.
Yep.
Then we've got Makers International podcast at 9:30. Then we've got Jamie got a premiere at 11 o'clock, and young Caitlin will have a premiere at 11:30.
So then we're back to Monday.
So that's on Sunday night. That is, yeah.
And then we're back to Wayne on Monday lunchtime and Mark Monday evening.
Yes.
So plenty to do, plenty to see, and I'll see you guys Sunday. Thank you very much to Mark and Wayne for coming over and joining me. And
no problem.
You guys have a great weekend. Speak to you soon. Bye for now.